Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Father Talks podcast. I'm your host, Mike D. Today's Veterans Day, and I would like to give thanks to all the vets out there. First and foremost, I would like to thank those two veterans that we lost. First would be George Vlasis and Derek Rice. I want people to know that I want you guys to know that your families have turned out amazing. You would be so proud. You know, your sons, your daughter, phenomenal people. You would be extremely proud of the young men and women that they've turned out to be. Next, I would like to thank my dad. It was by your example that I decided to join the military. It was something I wanted to do for a long time. Fortunately, I waited till I was a little bit older to join. Just those are the breaks. I did not stay in as long as I would like to, but life happens. For all the guys that I served with, thank you, for your support all through our deployment. It wasn't always easy. We don't all still talk today, but you guys are always in my thoughts, my prayers, and in my heart. You know, I could not have I could not have been blessed with a greater group of guys to have been deployed with. And people ask me all the time, would you ever do it again? Absolutely. If I could go back with the same group of guys that I deployed with, I would absolutely do it again for that particular reason, because I served with such a phenomenal group, of men that I couldn't have been prouder. So with that being said, I just want to thank you all, for your service. Um, I'm here today, because of the lessons that I learned. And I, again, I couldn't be I couldn't be prouder. It warms my heart every time, I see things pop up, and I see how the guys are doing. You know, it's great. So many of the guys' kids are growing up. They're going off to college. It's amazing. You know, Unfortunately, not all of our families are together the same way that they were when we were all in the military. You know, that's it's an unfortunate cost of military service that a lot of times families don't stay together because deployments are rough and coming home is even worse. But again, thank you for your service. I'd like to also say thank you to my dad. Thank you to my uncles. Thank you to my son. Thank you to my future son in law. Thank you to my brother and my cousins for their service. We have a pretty rich history of military service in our family, and I'm very excited and I'm very proud. Thank you to my drill sergeants. Uh, I hated you guys so much during my time in basic training, but I could not be prouder of the lessons that I learned. So again, thank you all for your commitment to our country. Have a great day and happy Veterans Day. To all who have worn the uniform of the United States Armed Forces, thank you. Your courage, discipline, and unwavering commitment to defending our freedoms embody the very best of this nation. Through your sacrifices, you have safeguarded our values, protected our families, and upheld the promise of liberty for generations to come. We honor your strength, your resilience, and your love of country. Today and every day, we stand in gratitude and pride, saluting the men and women whose selfless service reminds us that freedom is never free. Thank you.